Hello, Jackson families. Nicole Permelli, Superintendent of Jackson Schools. Reaching out today, it's been a while since I've had an opportunity to provide you an update, so I thought I'd take a few minutes of your time today just to update you on where we currently are in the district and remind you of our commitment to our students here in the district. So as a goal, you've seen this before, we want to make sure our staff and our students are safe. We follow the mandates that have been put forth in front of us from our Department of Ed and also the Health Department. We want to be responsive to our community, and we want to ensure that what we are doing is feasible and our planning is feasible within our facilities and our space and our resources that we have available to us here in the district. So where are we now? Some of you may be following this. This is the local and statewide updates that are provided by our health department every week in regards to our COVID cases and positivity rates. And what you see here, I've indicated before to you, is that the entire state is in the high orange activity level, and which that brings some extra requirements that we need to follow here in the district. So it does provide us some challenges. What it does is require us to quarantine anybody, staff or student within our schools who is experiencing COVID-like symptoms. They may not have positive tests yet, they may not have even tested yet, but if they have symptoms that are related to COVID, we need to presume them positive, and we also need to quarantine them and anybody who has been around them closer than 6 feet within a 15-minute period of time over 24 hours. So as you can imagine, that is, it adds another whole layer of complications to us here in the district. So right now we're still in the orange, and as you can see here from the last update on the website, that the Central East area actually even has one of the categories, the first one, the case rate, in the red. It would take all 3 of those or 4 of those categories to be in the red before the entire region would switch to red, but for now we are in the high risk area, which brings, as I said, many challenges to us. Some of which includes staffing issues. So at this moment, we cannot move back. We can't move to our phase 2 original plan, which was to bring group 1 and 2 students in for 5 days for in-person. Again, we're still on pause for that, but I want to reiterate, we are committed to getting back to that plan as soon as possible. If you recall, we were ready to do it right before the second wave started hitting. And then the state moved to the orange high risk area, and we had to put that on pause. We are committed as soon as possible. We would begin with our elementary students first. As we know, synchronous learning, virtual learning is much more difficult in our elementary grades and particularly our youngest grades. So we are committed to get those students back as soon as possible, but it is a challenge right now, and we don't want to put more bodies in our schools because that would lead to more quarantines because we wouldn't be able to socially distance. So it is a bit of a challenge right now, but we will forge forward and we will continue to monitor our cases, our quarantines. We want to remain hopeful that we have gotten through, or at least next week, or I'm hoping next week we start to see some of the numbers drop. But I, again, want to remind you, it's not just the positive cases we're looking at here, but we also have to look at the presumed positives. So hopefully within a few weeks, a week, we're watching day by day, we'll see the numbers drop, we'll switch back to a yellow category, which would help us to bring more students back. So we will continue to monitor, continue to work with our teachers and our families on synchronous instruction. I want to remind everybody that the high school second semester begins on February 3rd. You've received some information about that, and the model for second semester is hybrid synchronous or full synchronous for our high school students. We knew we needed to move to synchronous, knowing we couldn't bring more students back right now. So hopefully everyone is seeing the increase of instructional time, although it's virtual. It also combines the students together, so there's a little bit more opportunity to have dialogue with more students. And it also provides us some time in the afternoon to do some more targeted intervention with students and some more targeted enrichment with students. So we'll continue to work and strengthen that model until we can obviously get more students back. So the data and the conditions throughout our state don't support the immediate move to in-person, but again, we are looking day by day and hopeful that soon we can make that commitment to bring more students back. In the meantime, I do want to recognize, and I've said it before, we know this is not the best model. We also know Synchronous is not the perfect model, but it is a good step to offer more time for instruction for our students in the moment until we can bring more students back. Just a reminder, the dashboard is posted on the district website. It does record daily now any reports of positive cases that have been reported to us. It is the positive cases. It does not demonstrate the quarantines that are necessary. Quarantining in the high-risk area has definitely provided us some challenging with staffing, as I have said many times. So it's day by day for us, and hopefully we can continue to move forward and keep our doors open, because that's exactly what we want to do. A reminder that we've extended the color-coded calendar through March. Hopefully we don't need it through March, but we wanted to make sure we had it in place just in case for planning purposes for all of you.
Very good. Keep going, Sula. Keep going.
So with that, you're about to see some wonderful footage of things that are happening in our schools. We felt it was important you got to see some of the hard work that students and teachers are doing on a daily basis. We wanted you to know that we believe students should be in school. It's better for them academically, socially, and emotionally, and we are eager to do that too. For now, until conditions and circumstances improve, we must continue on this same path. And on this path, students are learning, teachers and staff are adapting, and we are delivering more daily instruction to each child through synchronous instruction. Teachers are delivering lessons in real time, in both in-person students and those learning from home. Students are beginning to function more as a full class, and with all of them receiving lessons and assignments at the same time.
Down and to the left, because remember.
It is not without its challenges, though, and we recognize that. It is particularly challenging for our youngest learners who struggle, as young children do, with focusing and staying on task and screen time. We are still working through this learning, and we're developing stronger and stronger approaches to help with that. But again, we recognize it is not where we want to be with our children. Our staff is doing a tremendous job. They're up for the challenge. The district is filled with so many staff members who care so deeply about our students and your children, and it shows in our classrooms every day. We can also see the dedication on our buses, in our lunchrooms, in our hallways, and our buildings. Our staff is working very hard to give our students the very best education experience we can during challenges and times that we've never could have imagined. Like you, we are eager and we are hopeful for change soon. Until then, we will continue to do our best, keep them learning, and keep them safe. Thank you, and stay well.